Come on, friend. Greetings. Let's just make sure everything's okay. All right. Okay. Unmute. Okay. Can everyone hear me? I think that's good. Okay. Sorry about that. There's a couple of times when I've done that countdown earlier when I was trying to sort all this new stuff out for StreamYard, and there's just a couple of times where it didn't actually give me any audio after the live stream was supposedly started on a tester. So apologies for that first couple of seconds. So, greetings and welcome to another weekly live stream from my channel. My name's Nigel Stephen Mayo, and welcome to my channel, Salad Cream Boy. So, if you are finding me for the first time, my channel is revolved around improving the mental state of pretty much everyone, but mostly it focuses on people with anxiety, depression, and all those good things. So one of the reasons why I started this channel is because I myself have anxiety, and let me tell you, I'm one of the worst people for taking not only other people's advice but my own advice. So I thought that all the stuff that I learned, all the experiences that I had, maybe I'll put that to use, and at the very least, if I'm not going to get through it and get it done myself, at the very least I can help someone else, and hopefully someone else can use it, and hopefully I'll be able to benefit someone else's life. So yeah, the other thing is that it's just to prove that we are all in it together. um, I know that a lot of people are feeling it through the situation they're in that will not be named. Let's just call it that random virus from an unspecified country. So yeah, what I'd like is if anyone wants to make a comment, again, like this live stream and subscribe to this channel if you want to have a bit more positivity in your life, if you want any tips on how to improve your mental state, and possibly some of your mental health. I'm not a doctor, but at the very least, I can give you the fruits of my labor. So let's get started, shall we? So there's one thing I just want to touch upon. Now, I've kind of put this forward towards a couple of people that I know and that I'm part of other things. And it says maybe yes, no. I've had mixed feelings about it, but I just wanted to kind of make the comment on it. So the current situation that we are in, a lot of people do have anxiety about it, and it's not necessarily just the isolation. It's about also getting out there because, okay, if you're anything like me, you follow the rules, you put on a mask, and you socially distance, you do this and don't do that, etc., 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 and you follow the rules. It's very frustrating when someone else isn't, whether they've got the mask on and it's just clear, if they're not bothering to make like wear one at all. It really can make you nervous because, okay, you're putting the effort in, they're not, and you feel that if you go outside, then you're gonna get something. Now, the thing is, okay, I say this in the mind that it's so much easier said than done, this. And it's going to take a bit of practice and it's going to take a bit of willpower. But honestly, it's a mindset that has helped me. I've had it for pretty much as long as this situation has been here now. But I find that there have been times where it's took me about an hour just simply to leave the house, go shopping, anything like that, or need to go to work, or anything that we absolutely have to do. So, what I would suggest is, look, it's like anything. Don't focus on the people around you. Focus on yourself. Now, yeah, things are bad. They really are. But if you can just focus on the stuff that you're doing, wear the mask and do everything else right, at least if you can say, okay, I'm being a better person on this and I'm doing it right, just focus on the things that are about you and just try and blot everything else out that anyone else is doing. Again, I know, it's the hardest thing in the world to do, but honestly, if you focus so much on it, and the thing is, again, it's going to feel like it's impossible. You can't dwell upon things that you can't control, and unless you're physically going to go up to someone and jam a face in their mask, which pretty sure is illegal at this point. Um, please don't get yourself upset about it. We're all doing what we can. Those who aren't, then look, it's up to them. They should, okay, in my opinions, they should be, but look, who are we to tell someone else what they can and can't do? That's up to the government. So I just wanted to kind of hint upon it. And this stream is supposed to be about positivity. So my positive thing is to say is that look, you're doing the right thing if you're doing the whole thing. And look, you're still here. You're still in a mental state that you can bring yourself to watch a video like this, and to watch someone like me ramble on for about an hour or so. So you can do that. You can do anything, right? So yeah, just focus on what you're doing, and honestly, the more you worry about everything else and what everyone else is doing, the worse it's going to be. Not necessarily for them. To them, you mean nothing to them. Focus on yourself. You're the one that matters. You're the only one who can give yourself peace of mind. So rather than worry about that, just you know try and focus on yourself. At the end of the day, apart from getting dark, what else can we do at the moment? Really? Anyway, but yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. And yeah, Zoom, chat to people. Anyway, I am just dictating at this point. That was actually the last thing I had on these pages. Now, before I get to what I really want to get to, I just have an announcement or two. So you may have noticed in the, let's see, where is it? On the top right hand corner of the screen. Hang on, I just need to check messages because I can see I have one. Oh, hi, yeah, Courtney Mayo. That's my wife, by the way, gorgeous wife. She's just waving. So, where was I? Oh, yeah, so a couple of announcements. So, as you can see in the, where is it? Top right hand corner of your screen, and the bottom left of the screen, you can see Salad Cream Boy and Livestream. I've changed the software. So theoretically, while I'm actually speaking to you right now, you can hear me in real time and see me in real time. Because what I was using before, I'm not going to say the brand or what I was using because I don't really want to detract from their popularity sales. I don't really want to take anything away because if it works for someone, it works for them. And you know what? It could be my internet connection or anything else. So not really going to say about anything about that. But my point being, I've got new software, so it's allowing me to do a lot more with my stream. I'm not going to be able to do it today, but theoretically next week, after trialing this, I should be able to do things like screen shares if anyone has a video you want me to put up, as long as there's no copyright. So if it's anything like direct footage from an episode or a movie of something, then I wouldn't be able to put that up. But if there's like a news article, or if you want me to put a picture up of inspirational speech or funny picture or funny quotes, I'd be able to do that theoretically for next week. I do have an old battered up laptop, which is probably about 5,000 years old by now, but I'll be able to hopefully use that. So I'd be able to use that screen share. Can't do it on the tablet unless I do a bit more jiggery pokery and have a look around on it. I just can't do that today. So thank you so much for watching and bearing with me on this. And thank you for being patient. I should be up and running 100% soon enough. It's just that after last week and some of the criticisms and advice I've been having, I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to improve these streams, improve my videos, etc., so that you've got a good experience. I can actually get on with the stuff I need to talk about, and we can, improve people's lives, which is what this channel's about. So, that being said, I have a couple of announcements, as I said. One of which is the How to Get to Sleep with Anxiety run will be not run, the videos that I've got put out. That will be finishing, I believe, in about 4 weeks. I've just posted my sixth video on that, so please go see that on my channel. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Please like it if you get any value from that content, and so forth and so forth. Comment, comment, comment. I've also, when you see it, it's about accessories and gadgets that you can get that will help you to get sleep faster. I've also taken the liberty of putting a few links within that description for that video, so you can get the ones that I got, which I've tested. When I say tested, I've used them and had to give them back. But there are a couple of things which people have got me for Christmas and Valentine's Day or whatever. So you'll be able to try out the things that I tried out, and they've actually had a positive effect. Some things, look, everything's an individual taste. Not everything that I suggest may work for you. And there are things which I did try, did benefit me, but I didn't like it in the long run because it's just me. For example, with the rug that I suggest, now I can't be in bed with too much like on top of me. I really do have to need that freedom. And then with the night, I'll wrap up. So the rug kind of thing wouldn't really work until it's the morning, but it can still use it for watching movies on a cold night or to snuggle up or whatever. So just give an example that just because just because I suggested it doesn't mean you need to take it, but I highly suggest you watch the video because I think there's some good stuff in there. So that's me rambling on about that. Now, the next thing, wash hands. Sorry, I just saw a comment that was random. So, Bernie, can you just say what you mean there? Wash hands. Right. So yeah. So on the comments, if you go and have a look, there will be a form on there. It will be the first comment that you'll see. It's a link that I put up there. This will be something that I tried to just allude to before I went off on a tangent. What I'll be doing is I'll be focusing, not every week, there'll be other things that I've got planned. Every so often, there will be an inspirational speech video. So what that entails is it's not necessarily about one thing, like the one that I have on the link here is about Doctor Who. I'll be picking various speeches, whether it be from that, Star Trek, Star Wars, and I'll Braveheart or anything else. And what I'll be doing, I'll be analysing it, seeing what life lessons or anything that's inspirational that will be relevant for mental health, such as anxiety, depression, etc., etc., and seeing if I can put that into a video and seeing if I can get some good stuff out of it, so you guys can take advantage of that. Now, what the link is for my first video. I'm trying to look for some not inspirational quotes. That's what I'll be doing. What I want to do is, in much of the same way, if you go and see my, which one was it? It was the pets one, the animals. Someone remind me if you've seen the video, Courtney, if you can, Bernie, if you can. Emotional support videos. That's it. Emotional support animals, should I say, not videos. Although it's what I do. So what I done on there, there's a bit where there's people speaking and there's some text overlay. So basically, it was telling people what their pets have done them for their emotional support and health, etc. So what I want to do is, for this first one, I want people to send me in whatever they want, in whatever way they want, and it's all confidential. I'm not asking for any names or anything, just a quote and maybe an email if you want to send me an audio. If not, I'll get someone else to read it out. Just in a few sentences, just let me know how Doctor Who has had a positive effect on your life, how it's improved your life, and if it's changed your life, let me know that as well. But just a little small passage on how it's affected you for the better. And what I'll be doing, I'll put it into the video along with a load of other stuff. So where the competition comes into it is that I'll be using 5 quotes. I'll be using 5 testimonies on the video itself, and at random, literally, I'll be giving my wife the numbers between 1 and 5. I'll be linking each testimony, email, whatever, to that. To that, and the prize will be a £20 Amazon gift voucher, or $20, whichever country it comes from. So what I'll be doing the draw, then I'll be actually buying the voucher, and through the email, I'm not going to be asking for any payment details or anything. I would never do that. What I'll be asking for is for the email, WhatsApp, Facebook page, whatever, for me to send the code from that card to. So I'll be buying the card myself on Amazon, and I'll be sending the code from that so you can use it to, buy whatever you want. So that is my idea for that. And if anyone can benefit by a bit of extra cash during these hard times, then, why not go for it? What you got to lose? So the actual draw itself, I believe it will actually be on the day that the video comes out. It will be next month. It'll be about 4 weeks. What I'll do, if you want to subscribe, and even if you want to unsubscribe after, I'll be doing a quick, I don't know, 30-second, couple of minute video, just explaining everything what I've explained here, and then I'll be using it from that. And so I'll be giving the dates that will be done. I'll be giving it the time. I might do it through a live stream. I haven't decided yet. But if you can use a link and put the testimony in, and there'll be a chance of a 20 quid voucher. It'll literally take a couple of minutes of your time. And for that, you get 20 quid. So everyone's happy. I get what I need for the testimonies. You get 20 quid. Now I'm going to be stop going on about 20 quid now and get on with this positivity. And I'm rambling. Follow the rules. Yes, so what Bernie was alluding to was about what I was talking about, anxiety, about going out there. Yeah, follow the rules. Wash your hands. Stay away from everyone, especially Bernie. She's just trouble. And she'll be saying to me, well, Nigel, surely you can't be serious. Yes, Bernie, I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. See, jokey. Anyway, yeah, as I said, if anyone wants to put any jokes in the comments, then I'll read them out. It's all about happy, smiley faces here. So, what I've been doing this week is I've been watching a few videos and doing a bit of research on something that has affected me all my life. Well, I say all life. I suppose it's maybe my adult life, especially when I've had all these symptoms of anxiety. Now, it's something called mind fog, and I just wanted to offer a few um, suggestions on what can be done about it. Now, mind fog is basically when you call someone over and then it's at the tip of your tongue and then you lose it. Where someone answers you a question and then you kind of stop, you freeze, can't think, that kind of stuff. And what that comes from is that, well, it can be a number of things. It can be exhaustion, that you've just been overthinking stuff, that you're physically exhausted, emotionally exhausted. It mainly comes from brain exhaustion because it all comes from the same place. And yeah, I just wanted to offer a couple of things about that. I've written it all down and it's on a few pages. So you're going to have to bear with me on that. So I'm just making sure that the stream is okay. Oh, by the way, I just want to ask anyone who's watching this, how does the audio sound? Just because with the other software, there's a bit of a crackle. There was a bit of crackle, so it sounded like popcorn was going off every so often with the stream. I just want to make sure, does my voice and everything, does it sound a lot smoother? Just can someone let me know in the comments, please? That would be muchly appreciated. Okay. So, mindfuck. Okay. So, what we are trying to do throughout our lives is there's a lot of putting out fires. We're just trying to alleviate the symptoms a lot. What I mean by that is when you get headaches, when you get anxiety and migraines stuff, you're taking your tablets so you get rid of those symptoms. And there's a lot of us, myself included, we're not dealing with the actual underlying problems. So all we're doing all day is just overthinking about the problem, not doing anything about it. Not that that's not a criticism, because I do that myself as well. I'm a heavy procrastinator. What I mean is that when we're just getting to stuff as it comes up, and we've got so much anxiety about things that we're not actually dealing with the problem itself. So, um, and the thing is, it's not so easy to do that. It's damn near impossible a lot of the time. So what I want to suggest is a few things to hopefully boost yourself so that you can get to deal with stuff. Because while you're overthinking, while you're suffering from all the anxiety, getting the headaches, you if you're anything like me, your stomach starts hurting and you get cramps and stuff. So all down to stress. So just a couple of things to hopefully make things a bit easier for you. So eventually, whether that be later tonight, whether that be tomorrow, next week, a year, decade, century, whenever, you feel a bit more better in yourself and hopefully able to deal with things. And that I say to myself as well. So one of the big things is, and it's the reason why I made a whole series about this on my YouTube channel, sleep. Need to get more of it. Now, that might mean going to bed a bit earlier when you want to play on your Xbox like I do. It might mean that the days that that you are actually able to get up a bit later for work, or the weekend you just want to lounge about. Okay, maybe that might not be the best thing sometimes, but if you really are that tired, you're having trouble thinking, you need to get your sleep. It's all about the melatonin, the sleep hormone, and the serotonin that helps you keep you sleeping, get a good sleep. See REM, the rapid eye movement that helps you dream and things. The biggest thing about sleep is that it's your main resource where it comes to regeneration. It's where your body mends itself. So the more, sorry, I didn't mean to use that finger there. Just forget about that, please. Flips. Have you heard about? I sorry, Courtney. I done that the wrong way around. Just to let you know, just want to stop there a second. My wife has, let's see, yeah, she's put a joke down on the chat, so I'll just read that out. Have you heard the one about the angry pancake? It flipped. My eyebrow raised so hard when that joke was told to me by her the first time. Now that it's got to the 50th time, yeah, loses something. But yeah, thanks, Courtney. So yeah, sleep more. What it means is that, so the thing is, when people go to sleep and things and lounge around and get their rest, a lot of people say that, okay, what does it mean? It means that you're being unproductive, you're being lazy, you just lounge around. And no, sleep isn't being lazy, it's not procrastinating, it's basically your body's way of recharging, regenerating, whatever word you want to use with that. It's the best thing you can get for a healthy mind, healthy body. That's pretty much it for that. Let's see. Don't exert yourself. Don't exert yourself. Don't over. So what I've got here is don't exert yourself mentally. So don't overthink. Um, because that's it. So when you're overthinking, when you're thinking about how to do this, how to do that, so I need to cook dinner later, I need to get the kids from school, and you're thinking about all of these different things. And yes, there are things that you do need to make sure that you stay on top of to, stay alive. But there's just a load of things which, sorry, if you you might hear a few knocks and a few bangs. That is basically my rabbit ghost. He's got a lot of cardboard and stuff to play with right now, so he's having a go at that. So if you hear any of that, apologies, but it's gonna go on. Just means that he's happy. So maybe he can come on his stream and give us a few pointers about that. So overthinking. Yeah, so like anything else, overthinking, when you think about things too much, it's still it's still using one of your muscles, the biggest muscle that you have, the most powerful one, your brain. You can still make yourself feel so tired because it's okay. So when you've done nothing all day, but you still feel tired, that can be one of the reasons. Okay, there's going to be loads of others like chronic fatigue and all that kind of stuff. But when you're constantly thinking and worrying and all the rest of it, it still has a powerful effect on your mind because it's still working those muscles up here and it's still having a big effect. So the less you think about things, and again, I'm not trying to preach, and it is the hardest thing in the world to do. I can personally vouch for that. I mean, most people can. But the more you overthink about things, the more tired you're probably going to be. So, like I said in my previous videos, I've suggested like writing things down, associating your bed with sleep so you can sleep better. So once you get into that room, you get to sleep. The idea of writing things down is that it's a brain dump. So just before you go to bed, write everything down. And you don't have to action anything. You don't even have to think about it. Just write it down. You can even do it in bed if you want to. Take it out of the room, put it in a box, put it on a desk, behind a TV, anywhere. Just as long as it's not in reach, it's out of sight and out of mind. And then just say to yourself, I'm going to be dealing with those things tomorrow. And what that'll also do is just get some association going. All these things that you're worried about that you may or may not be able to like fix yourself or have any power over, you kind of look forward to the end of the day to write things down, and at the end of the day, it does get dark. Um, by the way, you like the t-shirt? Get to that later. So what is happening is that you're starting to look forward to actually writing these down so you can put it out of your mind. So hopefully that have a better effect during the day because you're not necessarily as worried about them. Maybe it's what I've been looking up. So yeah, and that also means that cut down stuff on like coffee. Um, no waiting for stuff because while you're waiting for things, you're thinking about stuff. And what I mean by that, like I don't know, if you're waiting for this live stream, don't be there just like, come on, I need this to start. Fill your stuff, fill your mind with other things before things happen. So don't be so dependent on other things to start. And you're not waiting around. So while you're waiting around, nothing's happening. And what is going on? Things are in your head, and you're overthinking about stuff while you're waiting for something else. Um, so that leads me on to the other thing that I found out, and I've kind of been trying this recently, and yeah, well, let's just see how you guys thinking about this. So, okay, so you don't necessarily, okay, so try not to let events, try not to let the excitement or the adrenaline define how you're going to be. So, what was the thing? So there's a phrase which I'll get to. There's a load of other stuff which I want to discuss tonight as well. Trying to turn negatives into positives, and I think it's within that list. So what I'd say, try not to look forward to the adrenaline of the excitement of an event. So, like, I don't know, the Super Bowl's coming up, or your favourite football team's out, or a party's going to start later. I know it's a bad example, probably around now, or this is going to go on, this is going to go on, and you're just building yourself up to that. And then it's like a spur of the moment thing. You get the emotional and the adrenaline going and everything else at the time, but then all you're doing is then waiting for the next event, and then you just define yourself. What I'm trying to say by that, and yeah, that probably doesn't make too much sense right now. Please tell me in the comments if it does. Yes. Um, try and live in the moment. So it's kind of get yourself into a meditative state where it's like being comfortable in your own skin. I'm not sure whether I'm explaining this properly or not. So just be okay with just, I don't know, watching TV, not thinking about what's going on next, and you'll be a bit more happier, I think. Um, what I might do is make an actual video on this because the words kind of escape me, and honestly, the notes that I put down here, not only is my handwriting awful, but it's yeah, it's not good. I've not really put my notes down very good again, and considering I had a bit of commentary from that for my last live stream, you'd think I'd have done a bit more about it, but that's still a learning curve. So yeah, so be neutral, be pleasant, and be meditative. That's what I got on here. Don't wait for anything, and don't rely on the excitement and the exhilaration of the event you're waiting for. Try and be in the moment and just be there and just be happy, being calm and neutral. So you don't have to be excited to be happy. You can just be relaxed. Okay. So with the whole overexertion thing, it's physical as well. So, okay, don't what the notes I've got down here is don't go overboard. Now, okay, there are days where you're absolutely pumped, you got all this energy to waste. It's not waste, to get rid of, whatever the phrase you want to use. And then by the end of your session, you get home and you're absolutely cream cracked. Now, the thing is about that, You don't have to go full on all of the time. And I mean this mentally, emotionally as well, but also it's physical as well, because your physical exercise will have a mental effect on you as well. Because if you go into, say, the gym every single day and you're giving it 110% every single time, your brain can't handle that. Okay, that if you're like, I don't know, an adrenaline junkie or you're training for something, then okay, fine. But there's still got to be those breaks to give yourself that rest. And what I've got down here is know your limit and try to work within 70 to 80% capacity. So you're not going to the absolute exercise to your last breath kind of thing, in which when you get home, all you'll be wanting to do is sleep. Your body will ache, your mind will be like, I just don't want to talk to anyone right now. The best thing about it is it's like, okay, what I found out, it's like it's YouTube. If I'm going to get every single last little thing in detail into one video every single time, and I'm going to be spending 10, 12, 15 hours on every single video, then I am going to be absolutely chuffing knackered. So it's like the go to sleep one. I'd rather I'd rather make like a 10-minute video and break it up a bit, then that allow me the time to have that rest before I have to think about the next one. Okay, I do some of my video. I said do. I do some of my videos in bulk, so sometimes it'll be the case like the last few. I done all at once, so it might have been filmed all in one go, but then I edited over the space of 3 to 4 weeks. What I'm saying is you need to get consistency going as opposed to absolutely going mental every time, because all it's going to do is going to burn you out. I'm hoping that has made sense. Okay. So what else have I got here? Okay. So going on the same idea, I'm going to be talking slightly about, not for long, but I'm going to be going slightly about emotional drainage and relationships. If you're either in a relationship, or if you have any friends, or if you associate yourself with someone who can be draining, whether that be because, I don't know, they talk too much, or they're negative all the time with you, they take the piss out of you a little bit too much, that it's like, come on now. Or if it's just the fact that they're boring, sorry to say, or for whatever reason they drain you, there is absolutely no shame in taking a break. You don't necessarily have to tell anyone. It could just be the case, okay, I just need some me time right now. Okay, we can still chat and message and stuff, but it's just a boundary right now where I just need to take some time out for myself. And you can even do that on like Facebook and stuff, and just make an announcement, or okay, maybe a bad idea, but I hope the intention is there. Sometimes you need a break from people, because if you give too much to the other person, then that can also drain you to the point that you can't think. Honestly, in my last job, I knew someone who could talk for bloody England, America, China, Canada, the freaking, oh no, the whole planet. He could talk for God, you know. And it got to the point where I remember there was one job. I was a stock taker, my last job. I went around different places counting stock for them. So there's a good amount of time where I was in a car, and oh, you know, there was this guy who, I won't mention a name because I don't want to embarrass anyone. It's not my place. And there was this one trip where the space was short, and there was a big like front seat where it could fit three of us, but it was a bit of a big guy. Got in with this guy, and oh my god, I regretted it. He literally did not take one breath between the time we started the trip, and I'm talking a good 2.5 to 3 hours. And he was just asking a question and this, that, and the other, and like, do you know this, do you know that, and this happened, and that's funny. Literally, if you without taking a breath for 2.5 hours, and by the time that finished, I was okay when I started. I was wide awake and I was actually up for talking a little bit. But when someone imposes on you for that long, I would normally be okay enough to, make a sandwich or something when I get back home, because they are very long days. And when you're in a car with someone, especially when you're close quarters, it's not always good to be eating right next to them. So I sometimes I had to eat late, but I was that screwed by the end of it that my brain couldn't handle anything any more complicated than, I don't know, fire bad tree pretty kind of level of consciousness. So yeah, it's understandable that other people can drain you, and you do have to take that break sometimes, even if it's like an afternoon from your, I don't know, your spouse or someone, or from a friend who's going a bit too far. It's just you do have to distance yourself sometimes, and it's completely okay. It's You're not a bad person for doing it. It's Everyone needs to look after themselves. Everyone, to some point, regardless of how you feel that you need to look after everyone, you have to take that time for yourself, because otherwise you're going to burn out. And that's it for that. So if you've taken anything on, if you got any value from what I just said, please like and subscribe for more. And also, if you've taken anything that you want to, implement and take on board for your life, just make a comment. Make a comment in the comment section to say, look, okay, this is what I want to do. And also remember that competition. It's going to be going on for about 4 weeks, so get in there while you can. But yeah, it would really, I'd appreciate the more I can get, and I just want to help someone out by giving them a bit of cheddar. Cheddar being money, money being a gift card. Amazon. Go to the link. Okay, so where were I? Oh yes, so when you don't give yourself time, whether it be in relationships, whether it be physically or anything, all you're going to really do then, it's going to make it so much worse for yourself. You're going to be focusing on that fog when it occurs, and you don't really have anything else to stop you from it. So the more drained you are, the more you're going to succumb to it, and the harder it's going to be to get out of it. So my general point is look after yourself more, physically, emotionally, health wise, food wise, sleep wise, and all around healthier body, healthier mind, and healthier you are, the clearer your mind will be. Trust me on this. Okay, and it's also a case that, look, it's a skill set that you're going to need to practice on, because we weren't all born with all these skills. Not, we weren't born with mindfulness or anything like that. It's a skill that, like anything else, it gets better with practice, practice, practice. Okay. Okay. What have I got? Here. Okay. I think I've covered that. So, hopefully, I can give you a bit more clarity on this next thing I want to go through. Okay, let me just check something. No more chat. Courtney, can you just send me something? I just want to make sure the chat's working, because it kind of crashed a few times before on the other stream. Okay, can you just say anything, like, I don't know, or Bernie, can you say don't be serious? Please. Okay, so um, negativity. Um, One thing to turn negatives into positives, a little thing that I put together here. So, okay. So the thing is, with negativity, it's not something we're born with. Okay, so look, you was born with a blank slate, completely innocent, and it's all the experiences in life, all the disappointments and everything that you've had, all the obstacles, everything that has got in the way. It's life that has made you how you are, and that's not something that it's not a criticism, or anything, because I say it to myself too. We are all of the experiences in our life. So if we've had a pretty damn bad life, then we could theoretically be very negative about it. It takes a very strong mind, very willful mind, to always look on the bright side of things all the time. Not all of us can do that. And in fact, very few of us can do that, I assume. It takes luck for me, let me tell you. So my point is, it's not something that you're born with, and look to not be negative with all the things that you've experienced. It does take quite a lot of practice, like I just said before, and it is a huge skill to be able to do that. And I mean, the biggest skill you could probably ever have is to be positive when all you're faced with is negativity and adversity. Okay, so um, I've written a few things down here which might help with that, turning the negative phrases into a positive phrase. Okay, so you may have heard all of these things said to you in your life, which have made you more anxious, not necessarily to hear them, but it's one of those NLP things, neuro linguistic programming, that you may not have thought about it, but it can have a negative effect on your life. Okay, so Courtney has just put potatoes, like on Lord of the Rings, Samwise Gamgee. Yeah, Valentine's Day we had a three, no, not three. It was all three movies. It was all the extended editions, and it took about 12 and a half hours to get through all of them. Let me tell you, it wasn't all at once. So, yeah, potatoes, boil them, smash them, put them in a stew. Hey, precious. Sorry about that. So, right. So, one of the things that you've always been taught as a child, told as a child by your parents, carer, foster, whatever you've been growing up with. So, just a phrase, very simple. Be careful. Now, the thing is, our brains are built to skip over negativity whenever it can. So the thing is about the phrase "be careful" is that it's always okay. It's making you be scared of things. So, oh, be careful of that out there. Be careful of the car. Be careful of the neighbor's dog. All that kind of stuff. And what that is basically telling you is that you've got to be scared of everything that's out there, which isn't the case. So instead of, when someone says "be careful," and you can say this to yourself, you don't actually have to say this out loud. Whenever anyone says that to you, just use the phrase "be aware," because what that's doing is, when you're switching "be careful" to "be aware," it's making yourself, okay, I've got to be aware of my surroundings, I've got to be aware of this, I've got to be aware of that, but not necessarily scared of things. So I've got to be aware of, I don't know, the nice garden that's just, the hedge just been trimmed, or this, that, and the other that's positive out there. So it's not necessarily such a negative comment, and it's strengthening your awareness of the world around you. So yeah, hope that makes sense. Again, videos will be coming. Okay. So number two is oh yeah. So how many times have you heard this in the past? Stop. Okay. So just stop thinking about it. Again, it's basically about the negative. So what your brain would be mostly thinking of is the stop thinking about the negative stuff. And what you can replace that with is start thinking about something else. So what the first one is, stop thinking about it. So Stop focusing on, so the whole brain thing about skipping over the negative. So your brain in that sentence, stop thinking about it. It will skip over the stop. Sorry, I accidentally hit my microphone there. It will skip over that stop, and it will just focus on the thinking about it, and then that'll trigger something to, you're just going to be thinking about the negative thing that you're thinking about. Okay. So, what I would suggest replacing that with is start thinking about something else. So, instead of, I don't know, something negative to think about, everything in the whole world is just completely left my head right now. So, so stop thinking about the bills that you have to pay. So, what the brain unintentionally maybe does is that it starts thinking about the bills that you're not wanting to pay. And instead, say it to yourself, say it quietly or say it silently, say it in your head. Start the positive, start thinking about something else. So instead of, I don't know, instead of thinking about the bills which you'll be focused on, start thinking about the time that you're going to be spending this weekend when your kids aren't at school. Sorry, bad subject again. It's an absolute nightmare. This, all of this, you're trying to think about stuff and you're still thinking of stuff as if it's open, like the pubs, schools, the shops, everything. Okay, the shops are. We're still trying to accidentally, you still say things as if everything is still open and it's still the way things are. And it's so easy to be tripped up and not think that, oh my God, it's changed so much. So, yeah, I don't know that. Okay, so you're going to be speaking to your best friend on Zoom, so start thinking about that. Okay, so yeah, instead of stop thinking about it, start thinking about something else. Hopefully, your brain will start thinking about the start instead of the stop. Hope that helps. So, okay, some things that you might say to yourself, like how many times have you said, I've never done that. So someone wants you to try something new, like new ice cream, new food, new drink, or anything like, any activity. Want to try something new, and you say in your head, or you say to them, um, I've never done that. The solution to that phrase could be, okay, I'm curious about that. So even though you've never done something, but you might actually be thinking about it as something you might want to do in the future, instead of saying, well, I've never done that, even though you may not mean it negatively, because sometimes you might not, but instead of saying the words, I've never done it, just say, I'm curious about that. Because what that will do is enforce and try to support an open mind. Sorry, not support. Well, yes, support, but my word is more encourage an open mind. So it's not necessarily about the yeah, So I've lost my train of thought, my brain fog. So yeah, it's sometimes the words that you say even to yourself, even though you may not even mean them in the way that they're intended, just hearing them does something in there in your head, and it just reinforces all the time if you use it too much. So if you get away from that negative, say, yeah, I'm curious about it, even if you're not, it's just reinforcing something to open your mind up to try new things. The other one is, I'm anxious. Now, okay, people with anxiety and stuff are going to say that, but the thing is, anxiety and excitement are pretty much in the same place, and they have the same kind of symptoms because you get the heart racing, the blood rush, and all the rest of it. So let's put it this way: instead of saying to yourself or someone else about something that you're anxious, try saying, I'm excited about that. So I'm excited about seeing my friend, not anxious about it. I'm excited about going to work because I want to see about new possibility instead of I'm anxious about it. Now, if the people watching this stream or going to watch it has just heard that, trust me, I've already made a disclaimer at the start of this video. Um, I'm just so bad at taking my own advice. And look, it's what I've also said in my last video and my last stream. Look, the face that you put in front of the camera, the face that you put in front of your workmates, your family, maybe sometimes even your spouse, your kids, whoever, that face is not the same in front of someone as it is behind closed doors. So even though I may have just said that, I just want to put that disclaimer there that as soon as this stream is over and this camera turns off, it might not be the case. Um, that I can easily say that to myself. Does that make any sense? Okay, so where were we? Next one. So you might, and this is, I hate to use the word excuse because a lot of people use that against me. Oh, you're just using the anxiety as an excuse for something. You just, okay, you're nervous about that, so that's just an excuse for not trying it, etc., etc., etc. So I'd just like to address that. So when you say, "Ah, I'm just a negative thinker," it's like I said near the start of this little thing I started here. You're not born as a negative person. It's how your life has made it, and that's what I think what I was trying to say before. So instead of saying that, the answer to it maybe my my expectations in the past weren't met. So you expect to be happy, expect this to happen, and expect that not to mess up or anything like that. And it's the constant obstacles and things that have caused you to negatively think about stuff. But it's not something you're born with, it's something that you've learned. So anything that is learned can theoretically be unlearned. Theoretically, had to say that there. So yeah, you're born on a blank slate. Honest to fudge, I cannot read my own writing. Uh, yeah, so it's something that was installed. It's something that you became. So you're not necessarily you're not born with it. You don't get it off your parents. It's not hereditary. It's something that is built up over time. So it's something that can still be worked on. Maybe not completely. I'm not saying that this way of thinking is going to cure you. What I'm saying is that it's a start. If you can kind of see that it's not the fact that you're not, by saying that you're labeling yourself, and by labeling yourself, it's like always have been, and I'm never going to change in that. That's not true. You're bigger than your anxiety. You're better than it. So something that can be learned can be unlearned. It's like when I'd done karate like 20 years ago now, whenever the hell it was. I try not to swear on these things. It's something that can demonetize you once that ever happens. Um, so yeah, basically years and years and years ago, I've done karate, and oh my god, I love doing katas and stuff. Those are the sequence and moves like punches, blocks, and all that kind of stuff, but in a sequence. And I love those. It's something that I used to love doing. I can't even remember why. Oh yes, I remember why it stopped. Again, another video for another time. And the thing is now, because I haven't practiced it and being negative and having a negative mindset, when you use it, it's still putting it into practice. So because I haven't practiced or been near it years and years and years and years, honestly, I can't remember one thing from it. And it's the same deal about being negative. If you're constantly practicing at it, if you're being negative all the time, not the same as you're a negative person. It's just something that it is something that you can possibly unlearn. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, not trying to preach, it's just a suggestion, and I'm making that suggestion to myself as well. Everything I say on my videos, everything I say to you on these streams, I'm saying to me too, because my God, I need this YouTube as much as you do. I'm not saying you need it. I'm trying to apologize on what I say too much, and I really shouldn't. So I'll stop that now and get on with this. So, okay, where were we? So, I'm anxious. I'm just a negative thinker. And again, it is used an excuse, and I hate the word excuse because a lot of the time people say that I am using this as an excuse where I'm not. It's a reason, not an excuse. But in this case, it can be argued that it's something that you've learned and you put into practice, and it's yeah. I'll stop rambling on about that point now. Okay, so let's see. You might start to say quite a lot, and okay, again, if you have something like chronic fatigue and anything like that, then okay, the argument can be made that fine, it's a condition that you have, and it's not to be taken lightly. I personally know someone with chronic fatigue, and yeah, they are tired all the time. One of the reasons why I'm no, I shouldn't say that because if I do, the wrong people listen to it, they'll know who it is, and I don't want to tell people if they don't want to hear about it. But I try and help them out as much as I can because I know it can be difficult. And I know it's difficult to do things when you are absolutely cream crackered all the time, and all that you want to do is sleep. So there is a difference between I just haven't got the energy, etc., and actually having a chronic condition like that. So yeah, I get that, really, really do. However, in the respect that it is something that can be reversed for people, not saying that chronic illness can't be reversed, but there's there are reasons for that going on. So I'm not going to dive into that quite yet. It could be a video that I do in the future, but I don't want to put myself into hot water with that because I know it's something that it doesn't sometimes need medication, it does need treatment. So I get it. In this respect, where people can try to put some positive changes, and I do it still suggest it for people who have things like chronic fatigue, because who knows, if you try it, it might do something for you. Okay, it might help you out even in the slightest. I'm happy that it does. Okay, so anyway, I'm taking a very long time to make this point here. Sorry about that. So, okay, you might say I have no energy. What you can say is uh, I've overwhelmed and overworked myself. So you're just constantly working to perfection and you got that brain fog. And instead of saying I have no energy, which means, okay, I'll be honest here. When I say I have no energy, sometimes it can mean I just can't be bothered. But it does kind of allude to the same kind of thing. You can say I've overexerted myself and I've overworked myself, meaning that I've done the best that I can. I've done what I can. I've been productive, all the rest of it. But honestly, now I just don't have the energy. But it's what that means, and it's just another way of wording it. So it's not like it can sound like you're feeling sorry for yourself, but you're really not. Sometimes, so I say sometimes, a lot of the time, it can just be the fact that you've overexerted yourself too much, and it has nothing to, excuse me, and it has nothing to do with being lazy or overexerting yourself. Okay. Not sure how much longer I'm going to be on here. Maybe another. Let's go. I'm going to try and get to hour and a half mark, but because I've started very slightly late, I am starting to feel tired. So I do want to get all the points I want to get done here, and then I will call it a night. Okay. So I've got three more points on this subject, and I've just got a couple of inspirational speeches to read out, and then I'll be done. Okay. So, what the fudge does that say? Uh, okay. Again, it falls into the excuse category, but sometimes you have had it like this, and things can affect you in ways that you don't expect them to. If you've had such, okay, I'll say the sentence first before I start to explain it. So, what I've got down here is my past was traumatic. I've had a traumatic past. Okay, look, sometimes you've had some really, really bad stuff happen to you. I've had it. I know people who have had the R word happen to them without the consent type of thing happen to them. Um, and that has, had a heavy toll on them royally. Could have addictions, losing people. I know people who, over time, short space of time, lost their entire family for things, and losing their grandparents and parents, and then they've lost their brothers or sisters due to the current situation. It's like sometimes you don't know how to carry on with this type of thing. So there are things where, when it is genuinely traumatic and it does properly affect the way you think and your mental health, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, okay, I'm not going to say I've had the hardest life. I'm not going to say that, people are, well, people have, but I'm not going to say that all of the things that happen to my life um, are going to be an excuse for me not to do stuff. But I can certainly see how something can have that much an effect on a person. So when it's like that, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that when you've had such a life that, okay, bad things have happened, but come on, let's get on with it. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so to change that negative into a positive. Sorry, I keep looking over here, and the microphone's right there, so I need to stop doing that. Okay. Courtney, the last thing I can see on the chat is potatoes. Can you please this a request here? Can either yourself or anyone else like write something down, because I just want to make sure that my it's not freezing or anything. So please, please, please make a comment for me. Thank you, dear. Okay. So my past was traumatic. Can say past opportunities to sort out. Oh, I see what I tried to allude to here. So basically, your past informs your present. So you can basically say that all of the experiences and all of the opportunities and everything bad that has happened in your past has given you the information, has given you the life experience to be able to handle the present and the future. So instead of saying that, oh my God, I've gone through that and all that's going to do is get me down, it's got me down, it's got me down. Look, the past is a really powerful tool if you know how to use it correctly. And again, I say it to myself because, look, I've said all this in videos in the past. If anyone has any slightest interest of anything I've got through, that I've got to the point that I'm doing a YouTube stream and videos about it, there's a playlist on my channel. Again, subscribe for things in the future because there's more to come. Go to a playlist called From Anxiety to Now, and that will start to show you the things that I've gone through in the past, and it will kind of inform you on stuff that how I deal with things right now. Okay. Yeah. So yes. So it's also a case that if you're able to use past experience in such a way, it's also not the biggest step, but it's one step going towards letting go of the past. If you can basically say, oh, wish that never happened, wish that never happened, as opposed to, I'm glad that happened, because if that never happened, I wouldn't be able to handle the situation that I'm in now, So it kind of goes along the basis of everything happens for a reason. Now, I'm not religious or anything, but you do have to have, in whatever way, shape, it form, or it takes, a little bit of faith in things. Again, for my wife to hear that, she's probably screaming at the screen right now. Okay. Okay, so two more. I need that to be happy, which is something. Okay, so what I mean there, not necessarily what I meant before by waiting for an event or anything. What I mean by that is it could be anything. It could be I need to eat to be happy. I need to have alcohol to have a good time. I need this to be happy. I need a wife, husband, etc. to be happy. I need a pet, and basically you're basically saying you can't be happy unless you have this thing in your life. Without this thing in your life, there's no point. To put it abruptly, that's pretty much what you're saying by saying that. So instead of saying I need it, say I want that to be happy. And don't even say to be happy, just say I want that. Because what that'll do, instead of letting your brain associate needing that to be happy, or needing that to survive, or needing that to get through life, it will send a signal up there that will say, actually, I can get away with that. We get away with not having that. It's just something I want. It's just a would be nice, and then you wouldn't. Then it's something that you can start letting go of and actually enjoying things without the need to have that one thing in it. It's like what's that phrase? Security blanket. If I don't know, you moved or it got shredded in a washing machine or something, then you'd be beside yourself. But if you break away from something like that, and you can actually enjoy stuff without having to think, am I going to get that like a drug? You'll be much better for it. And I get it. To have something like that, and look, anything I'm talking about in these videos, live streams, whatever, I'm not necessarily talking about someone who is absolutely crippling mental health issues, anxiety, bipolar, depression, anything like that, fatigue, anything. I'm just basically giving a few hints and tips on things. So while I do try to help you guys out and help anyone I can, if I help one person, my job is done and I'm happy. But also try to take what I say with a tiny grain of salt, because if you're going to be like saying, okay, and this is where I do have to put a disclaimer in as well. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, GP, whatever. All I am is a guy who's been a few things, and I'm trying to put that into such a way that I want to be able to help my experiences, help other people, even if I can't help myself with them. So I just want to do the honorable thing. So if you're looking at these streams, videos, etc., for magical solutions or something, this is not the place. I just want to be able to bring that bit of positivity, hopefully make a few suggestions which have worked for me, and hopefully give you that little bit extra that, makes your life that slightly bit easier and a little bit more tolerable and a bit happier, and hopefully puts a smile on your face. Now, that should have been something I said in closing. I do actually have one more thing. So, how many times have you heard this before? And something that you said. Uh, so, my wife has just said that. So, Courtney in the chat, she says, okay, by the way, this is one good thing about this new. new thing here. Let's see if it will go to it. Yeah, there you go. So this, where are you? That is the camera on my tablet, so I can go through between two cameras now. I've got a mobile phone up there, and I've got a tablet here. So while I'm actually reading the comments, I can actually go between the cameras. So I'm just not looking away all the time. I'm still looking at the phone while I'm talking to you. So okay, my Courtney has just said baking peanut butter cookies can be calming as well. Smell and oh, sorry, she's not actually cooking them. She's just saying that yeah. So baking peanut butter cookies can be calming as well as they smell and taste delicious. Yes, they do, and they can give you what do you call it? Protein. The peanut butter, at the very least, is a good source of protein, which is the building blocks of, I think it's either serotonin or melatonin, that will help you get to sleep faster, believe it or not. I wouldn't suggest having it later in the day. Let me just get back to the other one here. So there you go. So I wouldn't suggest having peanut butter cookies right before you go to bed, because there's always a thing about it's heavy on your tummy, and it's one of the things that can keep you awake eating too late. But yeah, to have a good amount of them in a day, I wouldn't pass them up. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Only joking. I know you're going to slap me for that. Okay, so how many times you've heard this? Put in the chat and put a like on there if you've heard this or ever said this to anyone. Okay, so all right then. People don't understand. People don't understand me. They don't understand anything about me. You know, something like that. All I've just put down here is people don't understand me, or people don't understand, as in situation, how you feeling, or anything like that. And all I've got to really say about that is, yeah, it's true. They don't understand. So, and it's not me trying to be negative or mean or anything like that. I do have a point to make here about this, and it'll be coming now. So instead of saying that, say people haven't experienced what I have. Because to say people don't understand, that's putting a lot on them where it really shouldn't be. Like, okay, yeah, they're not going to understand if they haven't had your exact experiences, if they haven't walked in your shoes, they're never going to understand. So to put that expectation on anyone wouldn't be fair, because if they had lived your life, if they basically got inside your brain and lived there the whole of your life, they'd probably be reacting to bad news or anything in a slightly different way to how they would be doing, because they'd know exactly what you're feeling, they know exactly what you're going through. So yeah, they'd probably be doing a lot more for you. And it's not their fault, it's not anyone's fault, it's just the way things are. So here's the positive side of it. To say, instead of they don't understand, people haven't experienced what I have, that is basically an assertion to yourself to say, ah, okay, I'm not getting the response that I thought I get, but it's training your brain to kind of understand it so it can go about things in a certain way. So when you don't get the reaction or anything that you're expecting, it's training yourself to understand that a bit better and not put so much on everyone else, so that you're not as disappointed when they don't act in the way that you expect them to. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. Okay, yeah. Hey, can someone tell me if they can hear me? Sorry about this. Can someone tell me if they can hear me? Okay, I'm gonna have to do it this angle because I can't get it back on my phone, I think. Hang on a minute. Okay, won't be too long. Sorry about this, guys. Yep, I know. Camera. Okay. So, I'm hoping that has done the trick. Ugh. Okay, add stream. There you go. And there. And there. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully my phone won't do that again. I do apologize. I might need to edit this out when it actually gets onto Facebook, it's not Facebook, to YouTube properly. It's just that for some reason, all day today, my phone has been using up a lot more energy, even though the battery saver's been on. And I have absolutely no idea why. Sometimes Samsung phones do that from time to time. Um, okay, so that has really messed things up. Bear with me another hot second. Please enjoy the toys that I have behind me. Okay, so, all right. By the way, stuff like this won't be making mass production quite yet because I don't have that many subscribers, which something we're definitely thinking about. Already got a mug as well, which I've actually got at work. A bit of free advertisement there. But it's something that we're going to mess about with, and they're definitely going to be on these videos that I make, just to do a bit of promotion. If anyone asks about them, then more happy than to work something out to see if we can get some distribution going and and some money. So sorry, I had to wipe my nose there. Rub my nose, not wipe. Okay, so yeah, I think the last thing that I ended on before it just cut out there is the fact that okay, um, to say that someone doesn't understand is completely, well, not completely, but it is a bit unfair and it's a bit of a big expectation to put on them. Because as it says, if everyone has lived exactly your life, then they'd be treating your issues exactly how you want them to treat them. And when they don't, it's not really fair to say, okay, if they're your best friends and stuff, then yeah, they need to be supportive and stuff. But look, cut them some slack a little bit. And by saying people haven't experienced what I have, it kind of says to your brain that okay, cut them some slack a little bit. And by doing that, and if they don't behave in exactly the way that you want them to, then there wouldn't be so much disappointment. Then there won't be as much anxiety there when they don't do as you specifically want. Okay. Right. So, oh yeah. So I've written down a couple of times on these pieces of paper that you are better and bigger than your anxiety. So, sorry, I do apologize. It's just something that's really starting to make my nose itch. Okay, so yeah, you're bigger than the anxiety. When you start at the very least, maybe consider some of the stuff that I've said in this stream or anything that I've made into a video. It'll just hopefully teach you that you're bigger than the sum of your parts. And once you know the anxiety, depression, all that kind of stuff, it is an unfortunate thing to have to deal with. It's not pretty, it's not nice, it's not a picnic, and that's putting it absolutely mildly. But look, you're so much better than what you think you are. And just by, getting up in the morning, having breakfast, going to take a dump, or, anything, look, once you kind of think, okay, you're still here, and that's an achievement within itself. And when you start counting those little things, again, like, I don't know, getting yourself into some kind of routine every day, that's massive. It may not be groundbreaking, it might not be Nobel Prize type of thing, but it's good for you to have a routine. And just small things like that. They're small victories, and they're victories that need counting. They need to be um, acknowledged by yourself. So again, look, by the fact that you're still here, you're not somewhere else or somewhere else. Not going to say that. The fact that you're here, the fact that you're watching a live stream like this, the fact that you're watching the kind of videos I put out, and not necessarily the videos that I put out. There's loads of channels out there that deal with mental health in different ways that I do, in whatever way. The fact that you're bringing yourself to watch something like this is massive, and don't ever put yourself down for that. The fact that you're still here, keep doing what you're doing, because whatever you're doing, it's the right thing to do. Okay, so look, everything's just, not everything, I guess, but a lot of things right now are just bad. The current situation everyone's in the world right now, and whatever else, money, food, oh, I don't know, but the fact that you're getting through it, the fact that you're dealing with it in whatever way you are, even if you don't feel that you are, you're still here. So you're doing amazing, and just give yourself a break. Really, give yourself a break. Okay? If I was allowed to, I'd pat you on the back. But unfortunately, this is a YouTube video. I can't physically do that. The technology doesn't exist, I think, right now. And even if I came round, that's against the rules. Okay, so I'm going to end this with a couple of what I think are inspirational quotes. I've said them again I said them before on live streams, but I wanted to go through it here as well. Okay, so okay, the first one is from Star Trek. You can do everything right and still, sorry, I do apologize. You can do everything right and make no mistakes and still lose. And I'm going to add this on. So give yourself a break. You can do everything under the sun correctly, but that doesn't, and you can still lose at something, and things can still go wrong no matter how many precautions you take over with everything, no matter how much you plan, no matter how much you account for. You can still do everything correctly. And especially when it's that case, look, just give yourself a break, as I keep saying right now. There are just things that are beyond anyone's control. There are some things that should be under our control, not in our lives, but it's neither here nor there. So the other one is, and again, I've mentioned this in another live stream, and I will be finding more soon because I don't want to keep repeating the same lines here. But it's just something that I really, really, really like, and it's actually helped me in a couple of really bad times. Okay, so I'll read it out. So this is from Doctor Who. The way I see it, every life is a pile of good things and a pile of bad things. The good things don't always soften the bad things. But vice versa, the bad things don't necessarily spoil the good things or make them unimportant. So look here, just because you got a lot of bad stuff that's going on, celebrate every tiny little good thing you can. Whether, I don't know, you brush your teeth properly in the morning again, if you got up out of bed and it didn't take you half the day to do it, just count the good things, because no matter how many bad things there are, can't get in the way of keeping positive. Okay? Because, well, yeah, it's like I always say, at the end of the day, it gets dark. Thank you so much for watching. If you got any value from this if you got any value from this content, please consider liking this live stream. Subscribe to this channel if you want any further hints or tips on how to improve your mental state or the mental state of people that you know, because especially when it comes around to Christmas, Valentine's Day, which I've just made a video on, and various other holidays, it's just that time to, think about someone else and hopefully bring a smile to their face when they might need it the most. And also leave comments and say if any of this helped you, if you're going to take anything on this board, or if there's anything else that you can think of that might help. And the last thing, just consider again the comment from the first comment from this live stream. The link, there's £20 gift voucher or whatever money or whatever money, wherever you are in the world, Amazon gift voucher. Just give me a quote to say, look here, Doctor Who has done this for my life. It's positive, made a positive effect on things, and yeah, let's just go from there. Okay, I really am getting tired right now because I'm getting brain fog. Okay, right, again, I'm gonna go now because, like I just said, at the end of the day, it gets dark.